They say some people walk into your life like sunshine, but Sola, he came with rain. Not just the rain that soaks clothes and sends people running, but the kind that interrupts your life and waters seeds you didn't even know were planted. It was one of those quiet afternoons in the town. The clouds had gathered like a family meeting before a village wedding, and Adaeze was helping her father stitch a senator wear for a customer they couldn't afford to lose. They didn't have much, but they had dignity, and a tiny shop with cracked walls and a rusty ceiling fan that hummed louder than the radio. Then someone knocked on their door. In walked a stranger, dripping wet, tall, expensive wristwatch, sneakers soaked, but somehow still confident, as though the rain owed him an apology. "Do you fix sleeves?" he asked, holding out a torn designer shirt like it was nothing. Adaeze nodded, her eyes not leaving the shirt. But it wasn't the fabric that stunned her. It was the faint smell of cigarettes. Her father offered him a stool, and Sola reluctantly sat down, scrolling aimlessly through his phone. A driver honked outside, but Sola waved him off. "This your shop is so peaceful," he muttered to himself. Adaeze didn't reply. She was focused on threading her needle and keeping her heart from dancing. There was something about him, something broken but beautiful. Over the next few days, Sola returned, sometimes with clothes, sometimes with stories, and sometimes with nothing but his presence and that annoying habit, lighting a cigarette just outside the door. She hated that smell, but she loved the way he laughed when he told tales of city parties, fake friends, and how money doesn't guarantee peace in the city. Adaeze listened quietly. She spoke little, but when she did, it was like warm soup on a cold day. He asked her once, "Why are you so calm?" She smiled. "Because panic doesn't change anything, but peace can change people." He looked at her like he had just heard scripture. But Adaeze had her own secret. Every night, after finishing in the shop and helping her father clean up, she wrote stories, beautiful, soul-deep stories, on an old phone with a cracked screen. But her best friend, Amaka, well, she had faster internet and a sharp tongue. She posted Adaeze's stories under her own name on a storytelling app. And one of those stories, it was starting to go viral. Adaeze didn't know, neither did Sola. But everyone was wearing masks in the story, including Sola, who forgot to mention that he was the son of one of the biggest textile company owners in the city, that he wasn't just a customer, he was heir to an empire, and worse, that he was battling with an addiction he didn't want to name. One evening, as thunder rumbled again, Adaeze stepped outside the shop and caught him smoking. "You said you stopped," she said quietly. Sola looked at her like a boy caught stealing meat from the pot. "I said I am trying." She shook her head, her eyes watery but strong. "Trying doesn't light cigarettes." He sighed, crushed it under his shoe, and whispered, "I don't want to lose you." She walked away, not because she didn't care, but because she cared too much to stay while he stayed the same. That night, the rain came heavier than before, but in that storm, Adaeze wrote the story that would change everything. She titled it, "Loving Someone Who Wants to Heal But Doesn't Know How." And Sola, he stood outside the tailor shop, soaked again, but this time it wasn't the rain that drenched him, it was regret. And that is how Adaeze met Sola, inside that small tailor shop on a rainy afternoon she will never forget. She was just trying to help her father, but life had other plans. Sola didn't come there by mistake. Something bigger was already at work. But can a quiet girl from a humble background really change a spoiled boy with big problems and even bigger pride? This is just the beginning of their story, and trust me, things are about to get deeper. So if you enjoyed this first part, do not forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications. Episode 2 is coming, and you don't want to miss what happens next. I am going to see you in episode 2. Bye!